testing, which is FDA approved now, but not widely available yet. I know the Admiral said by May you expect to have millions available. How are you going to prioritize who's going to get the antibody tests, and what is that going to show you? Do you think that's going to be immunity?
I mean, I have an answer, but I'd rather have the Admiral answer that.
So let me clarify, and I know you probably understand this, is the antibody test does not tell you if you have the active virus in your nose. If you're positive for the antibody, it strongly implies, it means that you have had the virus before. And to the degree that we know of medical knowledge, you will probably, highly probably, be protected against getting the virus again in the future. I'm going to take this opportunity to caution. There is a very consolidated effort between the FDA, CDC, NIH to validate some of the tests that are on the market right now, because it is very important that they actually do what they say they do. So we're not going to get in that situation. We're going to be very careful to make sure that when we tell you you're likely immune from the disease, that test really said that. Now, I will also make a statement, and there's a lot of work on here, and I'm very excited about it. As opposed to the test for a novel virus, the antibody type tests are very sophisticated technology, but they're old technology. This we expect to have many tens of millions of tests the first month that we are really sure that the test makes sense. So this allows for surveillance screening, and Dr. Birx is one of the world experts to understand, is 1%, 5%, 20% of Americans have been infected. But it also allows us to have very widespread tens and tens of millions of people screened with a finger prick on the spot.
By when? Just to be by May, you're saying this will happen? Or
science doesn't run on rails, right? So we need to make sure that the FDA, the NIH, which they're actively doing right now, assure that the tests that they're testing really do perform the way they should. And if things work out the way we believe they will, we will have millions on the market by May in a sophisticated way, in a prospective way, that we get the surveillance we need. We can test people to see if they've been exposed, immune, and go back to work. And a combination of that kind of test with the current kind of test we have now is how America opens back up.
And how will you prioritize who gets those tests? I mean, tens of millions, we're a country of 300 million. How do you determine who you're going to have that test?
Well, we are having active discussions under the leadership of Dr. Birx and the task force, but you can imagine how that is, right? But with tens and tens and tens of millions of tests per month that are available, you could really do very widespread testing. But let me just give you an example.
Which nobody else can do, by the way. No other country can do.
I'll just give you one example. It would be very important to know if the virus is still circulating here, whether, for example, a healthcare worker or a long-term care nursing home worker is immune from the virus and can't carry it. Very, very important to protect our elderly in that situation. But also, if you haven't been exposed, to make sure that you really take precautions and maybe take care of the people who don't have the virus and you don't have the virus. So it's complex, but it's not complicated on how you go about looking this in different segments of society.